In a research lab back in 2003, a small capuchin monkey was given a piece of cucumber. She had earned it. 30 seconds before, she had handed a scientist a small stone, a simple task she learned to do for food. What she didn't know was that the scientist was running an experiment, and the whole experiment was about something happening in the cage right next to her. Because in that cage, another monkey was doing the same job, same stone, same scientist, same effort. And that monkey was getting a grape. The monkey with the cucumber looked at her neighbor. She looked at her cucumber, and then she did something nobody thought a monkey would do. She threw the cucumber at the scientist. That one moment has now been watched over 30 million times, and it's one of 4 experiments, all done with animals you already know, that quietly changed what science thought about consciousness.
She gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber.
The cucumber experiment was run by a scientist named Frans de Waal and his student Sarah Brosnan at Emory University in Georgia. Their study came out in 2003. The title was simple: Monkey Rejects Unequal Pay. The setup was simple too. 2 monkeys in clear cages right next to each other. They could see each other. A scientist sat in front of them with a small bowl of food. Both monkeys had been trained to do the same little job. Hand the scientist a small stone. In return, they got food. When both monkeys got cucumber for the job, they did it happily. Cucumber is fine. Monkeys eat cucumber. But then de Waal changed one thing. He started giving one monkey grapes, which capuchins love way more than cucumber. The other monkey still got cucumber. Same job, same effort, different pay. The cucumber monkey watched the first time it happened. She watched the second time. By the third time, she was done. In the video, you can see her hand the scientist the stone, take the cucumber, look at it for half a second, look at her neighbor still chewing the grape, and then threw the cucumber right at the scientist's face. In other trials, some monkeys refused to hand over the stone at all. Some pounded on the cage, one smashed the cucumber against the wall. What we're watching is not a monkey being picky about food. She was perfectly happy with cucumber 30 seconds ago. What you're watching is a monkey getting angry because something feels unfair. That single moment shows 3 things at the same time. She knows she's a separate person from the other monkey. She's comparing what she got to what her neighbor got, and she has a feeling for unfair, and she's willing to do something about it. That's huge, because for a long time, science thought a sense of fairness was something only humans had. Experiment 2. The dogs who knew they were being cheated. In 2009, a scientist at the University of Vienna named Friederike Range decided to try the same experiment on dogs. The setup was almost the same. 2 dogs, side by side. They could see each other, both trained to give their paw on command. Both got the same small treat for it. Then the rules changed. One dog kept getting the treat. The other dog gave his paw and got nothing. The first dog kept getting paid right in front of him. The unrewarded dog noticed almost right away. After a few rounds, he refused to give his paw. He looked away. He stopped making eye contact with the scientist. He started doing all the classic stress things dogs do. Yawning, stretching, licking his lips, turning his head. Your dog at home does this too. Most dog owners have a story about it. The dog watching you eat. The dog refusing a normal treat because they saw a better one go to someone else. That look a dog gives you when they figure out they're being ignored. For a long time, scientists thought this was just a learning behavior. Dogs learn what gets them what they want, and they act on it. So the dog on your couch, watching you eat dinner, that dog isn't just hoping for a scrap. He's doing the math in his head. He's comparing what he has to what you have, and he has feelings about it. Experiment 3, the mirror test. We have to talk about the mirror test, because it might be the most important experiment in the history of animal consciousness research. And the answer it gave us about the animals you live with is stranger than people think. It was invented in 1970 by an American scientist named Gallup Jr. His question was simple. We know animals can see themselves in mirrors. We know most of them act like the reflection is another animal, barking, hissing, fighting it. But is there any animal besides humans that knows the reflection is itself? His test became famous. While the animal is asleep, you put a small, harmless dot of paint on its body, somewhere it can see in the mirror, like the forehead or behind the ear. Then you show it a mirror. If the animal reaches up and touches the dot on its own body, not on the mirror, it has figured out that the reflection is itself. Gallup tried this on 4 chimpanzees. All 4 passed. They saw the dot, they looked at the mirror, they looked back at themselves, and they touched their own face. Then he tried it on rhesus monkeys, close relatives of chimps. They failed. Even after hundreds of hours of looking at the mirror, they kept acting like the reflection was a different monkey. For the next 50 years, scientists tried the test on every animal they could get to look in the mirror. The list of who fails is almost every animal you know: dogs, cats, horses, pigs, most monkeys, even human babies until they turn 2. For a long time, this was taken as proof that most animals don't have a sense of self. But here's the part that took scientists 50 years to figure out. The mirror test isn't really a test of consciousness. It's a test of recognizing yourself visually, and not every animal lives in a world built on sight. A dog lives in a world of smell. In their own world, in their own way, dogs can absolutely recognize themselves. They just don't do it with their eyes. The gorilla and her kitten. There's one more experiment to talk about, and it's the strangest of all of them because it didn't happen in a lab. It happened in the house in California. Her name was Koko. Koko was a gorilla born in San Francisco in 1971. From the time she was 1 year old, she was raised by a scientist named Penny Patterson, who taught her sign language. By the end of her life, Koko knew over 1,000 signs. She could understand about 2,000 English words. She was the most language-skilled non-human animal anyone had ever recorded. In 1984, when Koko was 13 years old, Penny asked her if she wanted a kitten as a pet. Koko signed yes. They picked one out together. A small gray tabby with no tail. Koko named the kitten Alball. For 6 months, Koko lived with Alball. She carried him through the house. She tried to nurse him. She let him bite her arm and didn't react. Then in December of that year, Alball got out of the house. He was hit by a car. He died instantly. Penny came home and had to sign the news to Koko. What happened next was filmed. Scientists have studied it ever since. Koko, on hearing the news, signed in this order: bad, sad, bad, frown, cry, frown, sad. And then she made a sound her trainer had never heard before. A high, soft, drowned-out cry that Penny later wrote was the closest thing to a human sob she'd ever heard from a non-human animal. Koko mourned for days. She kept signing about Alball for weeks after. A few years later, a scientist was talking to Koko about death. He asked her about what happens when gorillas die. Koko was 31 years old. She thought for a moment, then she signed 3 words: comfortable, whole, bye. Scientists have argued for decades about what Koko really meant. Did she understand death the way humans do? Was she repeating something she'd learned somewhere? Was she making a kind of poem? What's harder to argue with is everything that came before that answer. Koko had a pet. She loved her pet. She named him. The pet died. She mourned in a language she had learned. If that isn't consciousness, the ability to love something, to lose it, to grieve, to remember, we might need a new word for whatever it is. 4 experiments. A monkey throws a cucumber because something feels unfair. A dog refuses to work when his friend gets a better treat. A chimp sees himself in a mirror. A gorilla cries over her dead kitten in sign language. If you grow up being told that animals are simpler than us, driven by instinct, can't really feel things, mostly empty inside, these are the experiments that quietly take that idea apart.